Hi everyone! So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do two colour blends on the lovely flowers in Ivy and the Inky Butterfly by Johanna. So this first flower we're using Ergosoft 24 and 42. So these are the Staedtler Ergosoft pencils. So we'll start off with the darkest of the two oranges, just making a very dark, deep area at the very bottom of the flower nearest to the centre. And as we move up to the middle of the petal, we shall start to lighten our pressure and blend it out into the white. So we're going to do this on all of our petals. And blending it out into the white with a very light pressure will leave us a nice base for our next orange to blend into. The main rule with Staedtler Ergosoft pencils is to keep them very sharp and to use them very lightly. If you use heavy pressure with these pencils, it will burnish very quickly and you might get a streaky result. So the best thing to do is use very light pressure and of course keep them very sharp. So once we've got a nice blend out into the white of the paper, we'll then take our lighter orange and go over that very light hazy bit of dark orange that we left at the edge. This will help to blend the two colours together, and then we'll again blend out the light orange into the white of the paper, leaving some white at the end of the petals. Leaving the white is what really makes colours pop on the page, so that's a really important step. If we filled in the entire petal with colour, it just wouldn't be as effective. So now you've seen how to do this, I'm just going to speed through the rest of the petals quite quickly. And there we go. You can use a battery eraser or any eraser just to take a little bit more white off the edges if you wanted to, if you went a bit too far. And then you can use a white gel pen to add some little embellishments. So on this particular flower, I'm just going to be using the number 6, and I don't really need any other pencil for this apart from the white pencil. Now, Staedtler Ergosoft white pencil isn't the greatest white pencil in the world, but it really helps to blend out the purple in this flower, and it also brings out a bit of a blue tone that's in the pigment, so it looks really natural and lifelike. So what we're doing here is we're putting dark hard pressure at the tip of the flower and also at the bottom of the petal where the petal starts to curl under. We're not going to do these curls until the end. So what you need to do is both sides blend out into the middle so that there's a white area. Then you come in with your white pencil and mush the two areas together, so going over that white area and into the edges of the purple. Now, I don't know whether you can see this on camera, but that actually brings out some blue that's in the pigment of the purple, and it just looks really natural. So it's going to be the same all the way down the flower. We're making sure that we put some very dark colour on the top of each petal and also on the bottom of the petal, but not touching the curl of the petal. Now you could leave this white if you wanted to without using the white pencil over the top. It still looks really, really nice and effective, but I just like the smoothness that the white pencil brings to it. You can go in and add little bits of colour if you think that you've whitened it too much. And of course go back in and make those dark areas even darker. Now on the petals that don't have a curl, we're not going to go all the way to the bottom again. What we're going to do is just do the very tip of the petal and then colour the rest in white. Now here I tried to use a colourless blender, but it was no good, so I'm sticking with the white pencil. So here you can see that this petal doesn't have a curl at the end, so we're just blending it out into white. Same again with this one. Blend it out into the white and use your white pencil to just smudge it a little bit. So basically the formula is for all the petals that have a curl on the end, you're doing the top of the petal and the bottom of the petal. For the ones that don't have a curl at the end, you're just blending out into white. Just filling in one that I've missed here. Easily done. Make sure you keep those pencils nice and sharp. It really does help, especially with the Ergosoft pencils. I find that they don't perform nearly half as well if they're blunt. So what I've decided to do on the petals that don't have a curl at the end is just put a very narrow line of purple at the tip of those petals, just to define them a little bit more. So what I'm doing is going back into the very underneaths of the top of each petal, where it would be mostly in shadow, and adding more purple. Now on the curls, just add a very, very light touch of purple and go over it with the white pencil. And that's it. So on these sort of bluebell type flowers, I'm using 37 and 63. They're probably not bluebells, but they look sort of bell-shaped, so we'll go with that. So with the darkest blue, I'm going in at the very top and just doing a very dark, hard pressure at the top, and again blending down into the white of the paper as we move down the flower. So we're taking this colour just about halfway down, maybe slightly less. And again, leaving that very light bit for our next colour, the lighter blue, to go over and blend. So that's what we're doing here. We're pushing that lighter blue into the very edge of the dark blue to create that seamless blend. And just as we did with the dark blue, we're going to be blending this light blue out into white as we reach the tip of the flower. Remember to layer very carefully and quite slowly with these pencils. Putting too much colour down is just going to burnish very quickly. So you have to know how to use certain pencils. They all react differently on different papers and different brands as well. So I'm just going back in and darkening the dark blue bit just to ramp up the contrast a little bit. And when you've done that, you can go back in with the light blue and blend it. And here's just a bit of white gel pen to set it off. So on this next and last flower, I'm using 29 and 25. We're taking the darkest colour, the dark red, and we're going in the centre of the flower and just doing some hard pressure, blending out again into white in the centre of the petal. Now when you've left a good hazy border, you can go in with the next colour, the lighter colour, the pink, and do exactly the same thing at the other side of the petal, leaving a white band in the middle. Now here I decided to use the white pencil, but it went wrong, so don't use the white pencil. Just leave that band of white paper in the centre. As you can see, it's leaving the white that really sets off the colours in this flower. And you can use an eraser to pick up any bits of pigment that are over that white band, just to make it a little bit more white. And there we go. Now to do the curls, just use the dark red again. And you're done.